Good morning, all of you. I am Dr. Pradeep Kumar, working as Assistant Professor in St. Peter's Engineering College, Autonomous, Hyderabad. Today, we will talk about the desalination of the water. Desalination of water. Today, we will talk about the topic desalination of water. Okay. In the coastal areas, people are suffering to get the potable water, isn't it? In the coastal area, whoever the people are living in the areas of coastal, they are facing the problems regarding the potable water. So, what they have to do? They have to use seawater, isn't it? They have to use seawater. But we cannot take seawater, that means raw seawater as it is, to drinking purpose or bathing purpose. Is it clear? So that's why what we have to do? We have to purify the seawater, isn't it? We need to remove all those salts which is responsible for the salty nature. The desalination means nothing but the removing of here the process of removing of common salts like NaCl. Okay, the process of removing common salts like NaCl. This is the process is known as desalination process. Okay, removing of common salts which are present in the water. Why the seawater is having the salty nature? Because due to the presence of the dissolved salts. Due to the presence of dissolved salts. Due to the presence of the dissolved salts, the seawater is having the peculiar salty nature. Isn't it? Due to the presence of the dissolved salts, the seawater is having the peculiar salty nature. So, this water also known as brackish water. Brackish water. Okay. What is the desalination process? Desalination is nothing but the process of removing of common salts which are present in the water. Isn't it? Due to the presence of the various dissolved salts, the seawater is having the peculiar salty nature. Is it clear? So, this water also called as brackish water. Is also known as brackish water. Okay? Yeah. Here, depending upon the quantity present in the water of dissolved salts, depending upon the quantity of the dissolved salts present in the water can be graded as 3 types. The water can be graded as 3 types of water. Okay? Depending upon the quantity of the dissolved salts present in the water is graded as 3 types, isn't it? Yeah, first one is fresh water. First one is fresh water. The fresh water is containing the dissolved salts. The dissolved salts below 1000 ppm. The quantity of the dissolved salts present in the fresh water is below 1000 ppm. The water which is containing the below 1000 ppm dissolved salts, that water is known as fresh water. And second one is brackish water. Second one is brackish water. Here the brackish water is containing the dissolved salts quantity is in the range of 1000 ppm to 35,000 ppm. 1000 ppm to 35,000 ppm. The water which is having the quantity of the dissolved salts in the range of 1000 to 35,000 ppm range, those water is known as brackish water. And the third category, that is seawater. The third category, that is seawater, is having the dissolved salts quantity is above 35,000 ppm. Above 35,000 ppm. Okay. The seawater is containing the quantity of the dissolved salts present in the water is 35,000 ppm. Above 35,000 ppm. That means the seawater is completely raw water. That means the seawater is having so many dissolved salts, isn't it? You see here the dissolved salts present in the water is brackish water, isn't it? So here the depending upon the quantity of the dissolved salts present in the water is graded as three types: the fresh water, brackish water and seawater, isn't it? In fresh water, the dissolved salts quantity is below 1000 ppm, and in the brackish water the dissolved salts quantity is 1000 to 35,000 ppm. In seawater, the quantity of the dissolved salts present is above the 35,000 ppm. Okay, this is the categorized types of the water based on the dissolved salts present in the water. Okay, so here we need to remove these dissolved salts from the brackish water, isn't it? We need to remove these dissolved salts present in the brackish water. For that, actually we have two methods. That is reverse osmosis technique and electrodialysis technique. To remove the salts which are present in the brackish water or seawater, to remove these dissolved salts from the water, we have two methods, well-known methods. First one is reverse osmosis method and second one is electrodialysis method. In your syllabus you have reverse osmosis method. In your syllabus you have reverse osmosis method. Reverse osmosis method. Okay. Yeah. You can also call it RO technique, isn't it? RO method. You can also call as RO technique or RO method. In this reverse osmosis technique, we are going to remove the dissolved salts present in the brackish water or seawater. Okay. So what is reverse osmosis? Before knowing the reverse osmosis method, first we have to get an idea about the osmosis, isn't it? We have to get an idea about osmosis, isn't it? What is osmosis? What is osmosis? Osmosis is nothing but if we have the two solutions. If we have the two solutions which are having the different concentrations. Okay, which are having the different concentrations and which are separated by the semi-permeable membrane. Semi-permeable membrane. Okay. If we have the two different ones, one is higher concentrated solution and another one is lesser concentration solution. If we separate those solutions by a semi-permeable membrane, what happens? What happens here? Let us check. Okay. Here, if you see, here one is having the higher concentrated level solution, isn't it? Higher concentrated. This side we keep the higher concentrated level solution. It is high concentrated solution, isn't it? And it is the right side we are going to take. Lesser concentrated. That means less concentrated solution. Okay. This is the semi-permeable membrane, which is separating both the solutions. Semi-permeable membrane. Semi-permeable membrane. Okay. Here on left side we have the higher concentrated solution and right side we are having the less concentrated solution. It may be fresh water. If we take an example like it is a fresh water, the less concentrated solution is fresh water and high concentrated solution is a salt mixed water or sugar mixed water. Okay. If we take some salt and if we dissolve in the fresh water, what happens? The solution will be thick, isn't it? The concentration will be increased. If you take this is the high concentrated solution and this one is a low concentration or less concentrated solution, which are separated by the semi-permeable membrane here. Which are separated by semi-permeable membrane here. What happens? Generally, what happens? The solvent can move here from lesser concentrated solution to higher concentrated solution. Lesser concentrated solution or low concentrated solution to high concentrated solution. The water here, the solvent means here we have taken the water, isn't it? The water can move from freshly water to thick water or concentrated water. Why? Because to neutralize the thicknesses, to neutralize the concentration of the both solution, always the solvent can move to low concentrated to high concentrated side through the semi-permeable membrane. This is known as osmosis. This is known as osmosis. This is known as osmosis. You already know about the osmosis from your intermediate level, isn't it? What is osmosis? If we have the two different solutions which are separated by the semi-permeable membrane, then the solvent or water goes from less concentrated solution to high concentrated solution. This is known as osmosis. Okay, this is known as osmosis. Here the driving force for this phenomena is osmotic pressure. Here the driving force for this phenomena is osmotic pressure. Osmotic pressure. Okay. This This is a naturally occurring method, naturally occurring phenomenon, isn't it? This is a natural occurring. There is here we don't need to give any energy or any external force, isn't it? It is a naturally occurring technique, naturally occurring phenomenon. Here in this process we are not going to give any external energy, isn't it? It can do by itself. This is known as naturally occurring process. This is known as naturally occurring process, isn't it? This is the osmosis. Here the driving force is osmotic pressure. This process is naturally occurring process, isn't it? Here, what is reverse osmosis method? Now we will discuss about the reverse osmosis method. Reverse osmosis method. The reverse osmosis method quite opposite to the osmosis phenomenon, isn't it? Is a RO method, reverse osmosis method. In this case, in the reverse osmosis method, actually the solvent, if we take two different solutions which are separated by the semi-permeable membrane, then the solvent or water can move to the high concentrated level to low concentrated level, which is quite opposite as osmosis, isn't it? It is a process which is quite opposite to the osmosis process, isn't it? This phenomenon is known as reverse osmosis. This phenomenon is known as reverse osmosis. In the osmosis, if you take different solutions which are separated by the semi-permeable, then the solvent or water moves from low concentrated to high concentrated. While in the case of the reverse osmosis method, the direction of the water or solvent is quite opposite. That means in this case here the water or solvent can move from higher concentrated solution to lower concentrated solution. If you see here, coming to the process method RO technique, simply if you take this is the two tanks which are separated by the semi-permeable membrane. The left side we have one tank and then right side we have one tank here. Okay. In this case, if you take here, this is the higher concentrated side, the solution which is having the higher concentrated. That means here we have the dissolved salt particles, isn't it? In this case, we have the dissolved salt particles. It may be brackish water or it may be seawater, isn't it? This is the higher concentrated solution. And here right side we are going to take a low concentrated water. Here the right side we are going to take a low or less concentrated solution. Fresh water, it may be fresh water. Okay. It is a brackish water or sea water, brackish or sea water, which is having the high concentrated, isn't it? In the case of the right side tank, here we are going to take a low concentrated low concentrated solution or fresh water. It may be fresh water. Okay, it may be fresh water. Both the solutions are separated by a membrane which is called semi-permeable membrane. Semi-permeable membrane. Actually, we are using as a semi-permeable membrane here the cellulose acetate, or we can use cellulose butyrate. This cellulose acetate or cellulose butyrate we can use as semi-permeable membrane in the RO technique. In the RO technique, here we have taken two tanks which are separated by the semi-permeable membrane. In the left side we have taken brackish water or it may be sea water, that means high concentrated water, and in the case of the right side tank we can take the fresh water or low concentrated solution. Then what happens? In general, naturally occurring process. What is the naturally occurring process here? In generally always the solution or the solvent or fresh water can move to this side, isn't it? Low concentrated water to high concentrated solution, isn't it? In general process is osmosis. In general, naturally occurring process is osmosis. That means the solvent can move from low concentrated solution to high concentrated solution, isn't it? But we don't need here this osmosis technique. We don't need here. What we need actually, we need to separate the dissolved salts from this brackish water, isn't it? From this brackish or sea water, we need to remove the dissolved salts or provided particles or ionic or non-ionic particles which are present in the brackish water. We need to remove those particles here or those salts here, isn't it? So for that what we have to do? We have to separate the water from this tank, isn't it? We need to separate the water from this tank, then we will get a fresh water, isn't it? The rest of the particles will remain there, isn't it? So for that what we have to do here, in the reverse osmosis pressure, here we are applying some pressure here by using the external piston here. The external piston here we are going to apply some pressure here. In the reverse osmosis method, we are going to apply a solution of the high concentrated or brackish water or sea water tank. We are going to apply some pressure. We are applying some energy here, isn't it? This pressure is known as hydrostatic pressure. This pressure is known as hydrostatic pressure. Okay? This pressure is known as hydrostatic pressure. Actually, this hydrostatic pressure is higher than the osmotic pressure. Actually, this hydrostatic pressure is higher than the osmotic pressure. When we apply the hydrostatic pressure compared to osmosis pressure, it should be high, isn't it? Then the water or solution solvent, the water can move from reverse direction. That is high concentrated to low concentrated. High concentrated to low concentrated, isn't it? When we apply more than the osmotic pressure, if we apply hydrostatic pressure more than the osmotic pressure, then the reverse process, the moving of the water quite reverse, isn't it? Then the water can move from this tank, highly concentrated or brackish water tank or seawater tank to freshwater tank. So that here we can separate the water from seawater or brackish water. Is it clear? Here we are going to remove the water from the brackish water or seawater. That means here the remaining dissolved salts or colloidal particles remain left here. Okay? Yeah, remain left here, isn't it? Then fresh water moves to this tank. Then we will collect this water in the next process. Okay? This is the process to remove the dissolved salts present in the brackish water or seawater. Okay, this technique is known as reverse osmosis technique. In the reverse osmosis technique, we are going to take two different tanks. In the one tank, we are going to fill with the brackish water or seawater, and here we have the fresh water. That means this one is fresh water is the low concentrated side, and this brackish water or seawater side is the high concentrated side. Isn't it? So when we apply the hydrostatic pressure on the brackish water side or seawater side, more than the hydrostatic pressure should be more than osmotic pressure. Then what happens? Then the water can move from the high concentrated to low concentrated here. That means brackish water to fresh water. So that in this process we are going to remove the fresh water from the brackish water. The remaining particles or dissolved salts or colloidal particles remain left here in this membrane side, isn't it? So we can collect from here we can collect the fresh water. In this process we are going to remove the brackishness or salty, peculiar salty nature from the brackish water or seawater. Then we can use the water as a potable water, isn't it? So this method is widely used by whoever living in the coastal areas. So that those people are the groundwater also have the peculiar salty taste, isn't it? In the coastal areas, the groundwater also having the sort of brackish nature. So that's why in those areas people can widely used by or using the RO technique, that is reverse osmosis technique here, isn't it? Here we have some advantages of this method. Here we have some advantages of this method. What are the advantages by this method? We will check. Okay. Advantages of RO technique. Advantages of RO technique. Advantages of RO method. Okay. Actually, from this method, we can remove ionic, non-ionic, non-ionic, and colloidal particles, and organic matters. Okay. In this method, RO technique, we are going to remove the ionic, non-ionic, colloidal particles, organic matter, which is having the more than 0.001 micrometer size of the particles. 0.001 micrometer. More than this size of the particles can be separated by this RO technique. Okay. In the next advantage is, in this method we are using one semi-permeable membrane. isn't it? This semi-permeable membrane life will be high, more than the 2-3 years. More than 2-3 years. That means the life of the membrane will be high. The life of the membrane will be high, more than 2 to 3 years. And also, if we have any damage by this membrane, we can simply replace the membrane by within few minutes. We can replace the semi-permeable membrane by new one within the few minutes, isn't it? So it is the advantages of the reverse osmotic technique. And also here we have one more advantage, that is the cost and simple operational technique. Simple operational technique, isn't it? This RO method also having the low cost and simple operational technique. Okay, these are the advantages of the RO method. Okay, in this method, ionic, non-ionic, colloidal particles, organic matter, which are having the more than 0.001 micrometer size of the particle, then those particles we can easily separate by this RO method. And the life of the membrane will be high. The life of the membrane life will be high, and the replaceability is very easy method, isn't it? We can simply replace this semi-permeable membrane within few minutes. Okay, and it is also having the low cost and simple operational technique. Anyone can use this RO technique, simple operational technique. These are the advantages of the reverse osmosis method. Okay.